What if your entire content strategy ran itself? From strategy to visuals to scheduling, I'm building a system to do just that using Claude, Notion, and zero burnout. And this is day one. This is the beginning of TTV Creates building the machine. So strap in as I'll be documenting how I'm automating my brand and turning creative chaos into creative control. This system I'm building powers two connected projects. First, Vatic Vision. It's my creative OS, a brand designed to help creators automate their workflows, build smarter systems, and scale content without chaos. It'll publish newsletters, launch tools, and eventually become a full stack platform for solo digital builders. Second, TTV Creates. That's me, my personal lens. I'm documenting every move in public, from building a system to training the AI to publishing content across platforms. One is a system, the other is a story. Now that you know what this system is for, let me show you how I'm building it from the inside and up. Let's jump into Notion, where the foundation for this entire machine lives. Okay, here we are inside Notion, and what I'm gonna do is create a new page, and I'm gonna title this Vatic Vision OS. And this will serve as the central hub for my automated system there. So this is gonna be my creative. Just to give it a brief summary here, we'll go ahead and call it my creative operation system. And then we're gonna say it's designed to automate, scale, and document content workflows across different platforms. So like I said, this is a central hub that connects my brand assets, AI, content planning, and then all of my documentation logs there. So what I'm gonna do is link 4 key pages that's gonna power this whole machine here. I'll go ahead and note that here, and I will just say workspaces. We're gonna have underneath our brand vault, and then we're also gonna have our Claude prompt vault, and then we'll also have our signal planner. So we'll go ahead and list that there, and then we'll go ahead and also have somewhere where I can log all of my progress, all the steps I'm taking for TTV Creates in a specific location, and we'll just call that TTV Creates build log. So let's go ahead and put that in there. TTV Creates build log. So now that we have our overall OS set up there, what I'm gonna go ahead and do next is draft out each page so we can have a good foundation to build on, and we can get this automated system flowing and working for us here. I'm gonna go ahead and build this page out, and that first page is gonna be the brand vault. So what I'm gonna do is title this brand vault, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have 2 separate sections. One is gonna be for my personal brand, TTV Creates, and the other section is gonna consist of all the content and elements for Vatic Vision. So what I'm gonna do here now is go ahead and start to create the content for Vatic Vision and include all of those details for Vatic Vision. So we'll start with Vatic Vision here. And we'll note that this is the main brand. And then underneath, we'll start by listing the logo here. So with that, we can upload a little logo there, and we'll just upload the image of our logo. So I have this one here. And next, our color palette, which is also very important for this system to run correctly, is to just know what those colors are. And we'll go ahead and list it by primary, which is gonna be our black there. And then we also want to add our secondary color, which is going to be this white. And also we like to use a little bit of a silver gradient color as well. And next, we want to add our typography. So we do have our fonts downloaded and ready to be uploaded. Fonts, I choose this one. So Neural, that is our main font for Vatic Vision. So we want to make sure we get that in there. And then we also want to add in some of our secondary fonts there, which are these right here. So our Russo 1, which is the main font for our buttons on our pages. And then XO2 is the main body font for our content there. So we'll go ahead and choose those two. This is where I'm going to keep all the visuals and tonal assets for both Vatic Vision and TTV Creates, and for Vatic Vision as a product in the future. Having this here means I'm not reinventing how things look or sound every time I post. The system is just going to stay consistent, and this can be a foundation where I revert back to make sure that everything is aligned with what I want and the vision I have in store. So it's very imperative to take this step here to lay out the foundation. So the system that we create has something to refer back to ensure that it is producing the right kind of things to put out there for our audience. So I'm gonna finish up the rest of these fonts, get those uploaded, and then I'll transition into getting everything inside of this page for TTV Creates. So here now, I'm going to add the voice of Vatic Vision, just so the system understands how to draft, formulate, produce content in a way that reflects the brand and the brand message. So the voice of Vatic Vision can be reflected as such: futuristic, minimal, and empowering. And there we have the overall setup there for the brand vault in terms of Vatic Vision. I have my primary color palette there of black, and then I have my secondary / accent colors, which is going to be a white color and a silver gradient. And then I have all the typography I use for Vatic Vision. And then I also have the voice here for Vatic Vision. So we'll go ahead and be done with this here, and we'll move on to TTV Creates and uploading all the necessary details for TTV Creates. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and build out the layout and the foundation for TTV Creates. Here I'm gonna add in our logo, our color palette, also the typography for TTV Creates, and then finish it off with listing the voice descriptions of the brand. So here I will just type TTV Creates, and I will make note that this is my personal brand here. And now I'll go ahead and start to put in the information for our logo here. So I'll just go ahead and type logo, and I'll go ahead and insert our logo. So after the logo, just as we did above, we'll go ahead with the color palette. So what I'll do here is color palette. So for TTV Creates, we have a variety of color schemes that we use. It is more than one. So what I'll do here is just list them off by, primary, secondary. I have my color palette already noted, so I'll just copy and paste it in. Now we can go ahead and load our fonts here. For that, we have audio wide, which we can upload as a file here for our font for TTV Creates. There's our audio wide there. We also do use Coda as well. I don't have the file downloaded yet, so I will have to download that. But once I download that, I can also upload that into my fonts category for TTV Creates. just to ensure we have all the fonts we need to set up the foundation there. And then lastly, I'll just finish off here with our brand voice. So that brand voice is going to be, I would categorize it as transparent. I would say I'm a builder first, and then lastly, honest. Alrighty, so there we are, building out the brand vault for both brands, Vatic Vision as well as TTV Creates. It will keep the system very consistent. Having this here means I'm not reinventing how things look or sound every time I post. It's just a blueprint that the system can always revert back to ensure we're staying consistent as a brand, whether that's Vatic Vision or TTV Creates, and always keep our content aligned with our fonts, our voice, color palette, and always using our logo as we brand ourselves across social media. Okay, now I'll be building the Claude prompt vault. This is the part of the system that's going to help me think, write, and help me generate ideas using AI. So what I'm going to do as far as this vault here, let's expand this here and work fully inside the page. I'm gonna create a table here, and let's say for this table, we'll have about 6 columns here. And then for each column here, this is gonna be the prompt name, and then we'll follow that by the category of the prompt, and then our input prompt, followed by our output, and then followed by any tags, and then the date that we created it. So every time I write or test a prompt here, whether it's for a thread, a newsletter, or just simply repurposing a caption, I'm gonna store it here with the output so I can improve or eventually reuse it. Going to insert some things in here for an example, just to see how this table and prompt vault can play out as a real world application once we fully start to automate the system. For the prompt name, let's say it's for Vatic Signal or newsletter. We can just simply call it Signal Seed 001. And then we'll also include the category. Let's say we are just trying to do some extensive keyword research. We would just call it keyword research. And then for the prompt, let's say we want to start by telling it, give me 20 AI tool keywords, ... And then let's say for our output, we just put a checkbox here because we don't know what that exactly outputted yet. And then for the tags, keyword research, so that's SEO. We're using Claude, so we can say Claude, we can say research, we can say keywords, etc. And this is our prompt vault. So whenever I go either for creating content for newsletter, YouTube script, Instagram Reels, Twitter threads, the system can always refer back to this prompt vault to generate new ideas using Claude, using AI, and then automating that process from the prompt generation. So this makes AI a part of my system, not just one-off tool there. That's our prompt vault there for now. We'll be moving into our signal planner, and I'll be walking you guys through creating that page and how that page will ultimately work for us in this creative system. So here we are in the next page that we're building, which will be our signal planner page. Within this page, we are going to be tracking every content idea that I'm building, testing, or publishing. We'll just title this Signal Planner. And within the Signal Planner, what we're going to do here is create a table as well, just as we did for the Claude prompt. And within these tables, or within the table, we will have a column designated to a title, the platform, the status of whatever piece of content that we generate, a topic section, and then also the prompt that's used, and also the date as well. So we'll go ahead and build this out. as I said, we'll start with title here. Platform. We'll do status as well. And we'll go ahead and use topic. Prompt used. Then date issued. And this is going to be in the future, as we build this out, this is going to be connected to Claude. So whenever I drop a topic or a prompt in here, I'll tag it with the platform that it's designated for, and also the content type, and then also which Claude output it links to. So eventually this will be fully automated, and it will go ahead and automate my entire weekly content schedule. We have this table built out here, and that's all we need. It doesn't have to be too sexy. We just need to know type of content we're pushing out, the status of that, the topic, and then all the necessary details such as the date issued and the prompt that's used. This is going to be my personal build log, and this is where I'm going to track every step of the process, what I built, what I published, and then anything or any notes about what I learned. So let's go ahead and title this TTV Creates Build Blog. And just like the previous pages that we build, we're also going to use a table format for this page. And let's go ahead and expand the page there so we can have a good view of everything we're building. And what I'm going to do here now is add the table in. And with this table, we'll make it 7 columns. And I just want to have some basic information within this table to keep track of everything I'm publishing, everything I'm learning, and then everything I'm kind of creating within TTV Creates. So the first column will be our date section. Second one will be our title. Third will be the focus area. Fourth, we'll go ahead and do our A roll. This will just be kind of like a checkbox. So we'll do check or no check. So we'll do like an X there. And then we'll just copy and paste that because we'll use the same thing for our B-roll recorded. And then this will be our links. So any links to our YouTube content, our Vatic Signal newsletter publishings, TikTok Reels, Instagram Reels, Twitter threads, all content of that nature there. So we'll just make note that this can be YouTube, threads, Reels. And then lastly, we'll just have any kind of notes I want to add in per se, anything that I find relevant and important to any kind of content that I've been pushing out or publishing. So this is just an overall basic table here for the TTV Creates log. This turns the act of documenting into a system. Every episode, every short, every thread that I publish, it all gets tracked and recorded in this log. And it's always something that the system can refer back to and I can refer back to personally to just see where I'm at, timeline on everything, and anything that I may need to tweak or refer back to just for more information to improve on my content production. But that is our last page there. And it's the last page that kind of ties in this whole system together. And it's really a strong foundation for producing content in terms of automation and automating the whole content production process. What you just watched isn't a tutorial. It's the start of something way deeper. This is the foundation of an autonomous creative system, not built for hustle, but built for scale, clarity, and for longevity. I didn't build this system just to make more content. I built it because I was tired of trying to keep up, tired of starting from scratch every week, tired of trading creativity for consistency. This isn't a productivity hack. It's a signal system powered by structure, by intelligence, and by intentional design. Day one was about laying the groundwork, but tomorrow we move. I'll be training Claude to write like me, to understand the tone, the rhythm, and the voice of these brands so that I can start creating with assistance and not overwhelm. So if you're building something similar out there, start with structure. Don't wait until it's pretty. Don't wait until it's perfect. Just show the system, show your process, and show your signal. This is TTV Creates. This is Building the Machine, and this was day one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out on day 2, where we'll be training Claude AI to think and write just like me. Peace out, builders, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.